Greetings, math fans. All right, so today what we're going to do is work on basically division, okay? We've actually done some division already. You've seen the division sign. You flip over the second fraction. So today is actually kind of a mellow day, but I'm going to kind of show you a couple different types of division problems and also make sure you guys are good with if I have like, a plus 5 or a minus 5 over 5 minus a, those kind of problems, okay? So let's just start out with a really basic problem, okay? If I have, 12x to the fifth minus 6x to the fourth plus 15x squared. Okay, and I basically divide that by 3x squared. Okay, this is what you got to do. If it's, it's a single term like this down here, you want to basically write that 3 times. You want to split that up. So in other words, I'm going to do 12x to the fifth over 3x squared minus 6x to the fourth over 3x squared plus 15x squared over 3x squared. It's actually really simple, okay? And you guys should know, as far as the numbers go, I don't care, use your calculator. It's really just pretty simple division. 12 over 3 is 4. Then, of course, I just do battle, right? Who wins? The north or the south? Of course, the top wins by 3, so it's x cubed, okay? 6 over 3 is 2. The north wins, or the top wins by 2. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. And the x cancels. So this is it. That's your final answer. What? Okay, it's really not that difficult. Okay? All right, so let's do a couple more here. Let's put a couple extra variables in here. So what if I just do... let's do 20x to the fifth, y to the fourth, minus 15x to the fourth, y cubed, plus 25x to the seventh, y, just y. That's good. Okay? So again, you got to find, well, here, sorry, I got to actually do a division here, right? Divided by 5x squared y. All right, cool. So again, just write each one out. Write 5x squared y on the bottom, and then this is 20x to the fifth, y to the fourth, and minus 15x to the fourth, y cubed over 5x squared y, and then plus 25x to the seventh, y over 5x squared y. Very simple. Just write each one of those out, and then you just divide. So 20 over 5 is 4. This north wins by 3, so it's x cubed. And if you want to put a y to the 1 to help you, that's cool. And then it's y to the third. Okay? And then it's minus 15 over 5 is 3. That's x squared, y squared. And then plus 5x to the fifth. And the y's cancel. And that's it. That's your answer. Right? So it's pretty easy. So that's like a super basic problem, which you'll see, and we call this just dividing it by a monomial, right? Right? It's divided by a monomial. All right, cool. So you have a couple of those problems. Now I can have it written in a little bit different way. That's why I just want to show you just a little bit different ways this could be written. If I said, let's say 20x to the fifth, y to the fifth, minus 12x to the fourth, y cubed, plus 8x squared, y squared. And it's written this way, divided by 4x squared y. Okay? This is the same thing as the other problem. If you want, just get rid of this and just do this, divided by 4x squared y, because that's all it is. It's dividing that whole thing by 4x squared y, and then just do the same thing we've been doing before. So it's 20x to the fifth, y to the fifth, over 4x squared y, minus 12x to the fourth, y cubed, over 4x squared y, then plus 8x squared y squared over 4x squared y. Okay, and let's do what we did before. 20 over 4 is 5. That's x cubed, y to the fourth. Again, if you want to put a 1 here, that's cool. Okay, the next one is going to be minus 3x squared y squared. Okay, and then plus 2, the x's cancel, or x squareds cancel, and we just have a y left over. And that's your answer. All right? Not bad, not bad. All right, so that's the next kind of problem. Like I said, they're all pretty similar. I can also, just to see this again, because it's on the homework tonight, if you see a problem like, 8x to the 5th over 3y cubed divided by 4x cubed over 12y. Let's say it's 12y. Okay, so you guys really should know how to do this one, right? If you see a division sign, what do? You flip that. Okay, it's really easy. So it's 8x to the 5th over 3y cubed times 12y over 4x cubed. Okay? So a lot of ways you can do this problem as far as using your calculator. You can always you can just multiply the numbers together, right? If you multiply the numbers together and then just use your calculator to reduce it, I'm okay with that. I think a lot of you guys do that as opposed to canceling as you move along here. But let's combine everything together, right? If I just combine this top together, I get 96 x to the 5th y, and on the bottom I get 3 times 4 is 12 x cubed y cubed. Okay, so if you type in 96 divided by 12 and you use your calculator, everyone's different, but if you use your calculator, hit the fraction button, whatever, you get 8. So the 8's just on top. There's no fractions, so this is 8. And then who wins with the x's? Right, the top wins by 2. Who wins with the y's? The y wins by 2 on the bottom. So that's it. That's your final answer. Okay, so we've done this already. I know you guys have seen this already. It's no big deal. Okay, so I got a couple more problems I want to do with you guys, and then we're done. So real quickly, if I did 2x squared plus 5x plus 2 divided by 2x plus 1. Okay, you guys have seen this already, and I'm just kind of reviewing this because what I really don't want to see, I don't want to see people cancel stuff out. Guys, if you see something squared, oh my gosh, you got to think factoring. Okay, this is what it is. You see at 2x squared plus 5x plus 2, you got to do factor box. Okay, if I do that, I get 2x squared and 2 and 5x. So this is going to be pretty easy because there's not a lot of combinations, 2x and x, and this is going to be 2 and a 1. So you get 4x and x is 5x. So it's x plus 2, 2x plus 1. So let's write that out. X plus 2, 2x plus 1. Sweet! 2x plus 1 on the bottom. That cancels out. My answer is just x plus 2. Okay? Pretty easy. Okay, so I want to show you quickly now one more that kids still struggle with. So let me do that one. If I do, what am I going to do? 6x plus 12 over x squared minus 9 divided by 5x plus 10 over 3 minus x. Okay, this is not really that complicated. Of course, you know what you're going to factor. I mean, I can see right here, this is going to be factorable right here. I can factor that's the difference of two squares. I can do a greatest common factor. This is the only one that's kind of a little weird right here, but let's deal with that kind of at the end. Okay. First of all, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip this, but I'm going to factor while I do it, and then change it, of course, to multiplication. So if I first I want to factor this guy right here, it's just I'm going to take out a 6, so you get x plus 2. The bottom, you guys should recognize is a difference of two squares. So this is an x and a 3, right? So it's x plus 3, x minus 3. And then change to multiplication. And I'm just going to write this out here because we're going to deal with it at the end. And then that 5x plus 10 goes to the bottom, but I can factor 5 out. All right, here's the deal, guys. If you see a 3 minus x, you need to change it to x minus 3. Okay, you need to flip it around. Kind of like when I did this, x minus 3 over 3 minus x. Remember how that was equal to negative 1? I told you guys it's really important. So if I flip this around to x minus 3, it really means you got to put a negative in front of it. It's like a -1 if you want to say that way. Because think about it. If I distribute that -1, don't I get negative x plus 3? And if I rearrange it, isn't it 3 minus x? So basically, just rewrite this guy right here as negative, or so let's just say it's x minus 3, but with a -1 on the outside. Okay, that's what you have to know. So if it's a 3 minus x, flip it around and say x minus 3, and then change the sign. That's all you do. Put a -1 in front. Okay, so that's going to allow me to do now, math fans, is I have an x plus 2 and an x plus 2 cancel. I have an x minus, so this is out of here now, right? I have an x minus 3 and an x minus 3 cancel. And that's it. That's all I can cancel. Do you agree with that? So what do I have left over? I have the 6 and the -1. And then the x plus 3 and then the 5. So putting it all together, I get 6 times -1 just as -6 over 5 times x plus 3. And that's your final answer. Okay? So remember, if you have, I don't care what it is, if it's 8 minus 5x, flip it around, 5x minus 8, because that's really what you're going to deal with most of the time when you're factoring, and then put a negative in front of it, so like it, or a -1. Okay? So that's it with division. Not that bad. A lot of different types of problems, but that's about it. All right, that's it, my friends. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.